Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Go check out my website at skyazrael.com for life coaching and mentoring. It's Sunday morning, bright and early. It's a nice day outside here in Florida. The weather's finally getting a little cooler. I say cooler, what was it, like 80 degrees yesterday? Fairly low humidity. For the next 6 months, we got the best weather. I see all these fucking posts online on Facebook about winterizing your bike. I don't even know what the fuck that is. I'm from Southern California and I've lived in Florida. I don't even know what you're talking about, winterizing your bike. What kind of fucking weirdo has to do that shit? All you people that live in areas where it snows, I honestly don't know what the fuck is wrong with you. You're just gonna sit there for the next 5 months and not ride your motorcycles? I don't get it. I don't get it. And you'll never be able to explain it to me. If you're unfamiliar with how this works on my Sunday study groups, I go over various points that I've written down during my weekly studies that I think are worth going over with you guys just as a little extra. And that's what this is. This is just a little extra for the hardcore motherfuckers that need it. So let's just get into this shit. The first thing I want to talk about is the fabric of society. You've heard that term. What's the fucking fabric of society anyways? It's meaningless, right? It doesn't really mean anything. I think it does. Society feels like it is not collapsing. I think that's rather extreme, and I think that that is language used by the media in order to scare people or outrage people into voting. You have to understand that the media is up to a game. It's easily understandable on conservative media of any kind. I don't care if it's online, on your favorite podcast, if you're watching Ben Shapiro or whoever you watch. I don't care if it's on the left and if it's Amy Goodman in Democracy Now! Or Rachel Maddow. I don't care who it is that you're watching. I don't care who it is. They're up to one of two things. The left is always trying to get you to be afraid. That's their goal. That's how they get their voting bloc to motivated to vote, is through fear. On the right, every single story, these are cherry-picked. Every media branch sits around with a little powwow of a couple people before that they launch their content, and they decide what they're going. They cherry-pick, this is the story we're going to run, we're not going to run this story, and every story that they run has a certain angle to it. What's that angle? Outrage. All conservative media is meant to outrage you. We're being played. What does this have to do with the fabric of society? Individualism used to be a thing, and now motherfuckers are just looking for memes, looking for messages that they can regurgitate, like little parrots, just singing back what was sung to them. So what is the fabric of society? How do we fix this shit? Well, the first thing is with faith. This has been studied. With the decline of religion, with the decline of spirituality, with the decline of a belief in a higher power, with the decline of a belief in God, society is crumbling. Your family structure is crumbling. You as an individual are falling apart without faith. What is another aspect of society, the fabric of society, the structure of society that keeps society from falling apart? Self-determination. You have the right to live your life how you want to live it. I could talk about that for an hour and a half. Another aspect of the fabric of society is family. Family is falling apart. People are choosing not to have families, and society is crumbling. You get a little bit out of each one of these areas, and we're watching a whole generation of degenerates, of losers, refuse to move out of their fucking parents' house, play video games, emasculated little bitch, fat little fucks. I'm not trying to shame anybody out there, but we have a whole generation of obesity. America's the fattest country on the planet. Stop going around saying we're the greatest nation on earth when we're the fattest fucks out there. The last one I want to talk about is in the fabric of society is probably the most important to me, and that's tradition. Tradition with our institutions. We're watching our institutions being crumbled, torn down, and we're watching tradition being thrown out the window. There's a movement, an anti-tradition movement, and it's called liberalism. It's called postmodernism. I find it offensive. Tradition is important, and it's how we move forward. If you give up tradition, you give up all the lessons of the past. You give up the greatness of the past. It's offensive. Let's go to the next one. Don't spend your life talking about the good old days. Yeah, there's nothing more sad. There's nothing more sorry and pitiful than sitting around a bunch of fucking men who just want to talk about the good old days, what they did 20 years ago, their college football days, that one company they ran for 8 years in their early 20s, and now they're in their mid 60s. They always have, people always have this little nostalgia for the good old days. Such an incredible fucking load of bullshit. Such a fucking waste of a life. Stop waiting for death. The people that talk about the good old days nonstop, that live in that kind of nostalgia as if the only good thing they did was in the past, the only good thing that ever happened to them was in the past. These are men who've given up. I say men because I'm not sure if I hear women talking about this so much, but I hear men, all kinds of men, reminiscing on the good old days. Motherfuckers like to get together with their buddies just so they can talk about the good old days. It's extreme loser shit. That is as loser fucking shit as you can get. It disgusts me. Life is in front of you, not behind you. So this goes on with it. You're going to never give up. Never give up. Never give up. Live till the end. Run across the fucking finish line. We don't stop. I told my mom this when she was going through her cancer a few years ago. And she was having a hard time going through chemo. She wanted to give up with her regimen, and they put her on all kinds of stuff, not just the chemo and the radiation, but there's a whole diet, there's exercise, there's physical therapy, and it's hard, and she was in pain. And she would whine and say, I want to give up. And people around her, her husband, her father, my grandfather, her sisters, she has a whole handful of sisters, they all kind of coddled her and told her, it's okay. So you're having a bad week or a bad couple weeks. Just, you'll get back to it, and whatever happens, happens. And I mean, I don't hang out with my mom because I don't live up near her. I see her once every 3 or 4 years or something like that, but we talk on the phone. I got mad. I told her, don't listen to none of those motherfuckers. You tune all that bullshit out. You get your ass up right fucking now. I don't care how hard it is. I don't care how weak you feel. I don't care how sick you feel. You get your fucking ass up and you get on this goddamn program. You run across the finish line. You don't give up on chemo and on this whole regimen to heal yourself. You don't give up on the radiation. You don't give up on the exercise, the diet. You don't give up on none of it until you run, sprint across that finish line. You don't give up right before you fucking cross. I was so mad. I slammed down the phone. God damn it, motherfucker. I don't like fucking quitters. And she emailed me thanking me. She just finished one of her books. She's written 12 books. One of her books, she puts this whole conversation that I'm explaining to you right now in the book. It was, she tells me, this is not my assessment, she tells me it was one of the most powerful pieces of advice that she's ever had in her life, and she'll never forget it as long as she lives. You run across the finish line. You know, let's talk about faith. I promised you I'd talk about God. Your faith should be your strongest, most defended beliefs. A lot of you want to defend other aspects of yourself. You'll fight to the death in the streets over certain things, but your faith, you don't really defend that. You don't really spend much time putting a lot of stock in that. For me, my faith, my belief in a higher power, my relationship with God, is the most powerful aspect of who I am. That is unshakable. There's no amount of torture down in Guantanamo Bay I would be able to go through in order to denounce my God. There's nothing that you could say to get me to sway from my beliefs in my God. It's literally the foundation of who I am. It's why I'm strong. I don't know how some of you find strength if you don't have a fucking faith. Let's talk about building a team. Any good leader needs to know how to build teams. We have a tendency when we build teams, say for example, even if it's your friends, I mean I'm kind of referring to business, but even if it's just your friend circle, your community, we like to build teams with people that are like us, that are similar to us. And a team of people who are all the same is a weak team. A lot of people don't really understand how it works. You don't want to, say if you're starting a business and you're putting together your board of directors, right? You're going to build the company from the top down. You don't want a room full of guys that are all exactly like you, that think like you, that have all the same background as you, that are little clones of you. You're just going to have a bunch of yes men. You guys are all going to sit around in your echo chamber being like, great idea, that's a great idea, oh, this is so wonderful. And this is the reason why a lot of businesses fail. A successful leader can build his team with people who have similar instincts, yet different talents. Think of G.I. Joe, right? They weren't all the same. They could have made G.I. Joe just one drill sergeant, and then a room full of little army clones, all with their little caps and camouflage, and they could, you know, salute and be like, yes, sir! And that would have been G.I. Joe. It would have been boring as fuck, and who knows if they would have ever really won any battles. The cool thing about G.I. Joe, and the reason why these guys were this deadly force, is because every single one of them had their own little unique skill. I used to have G.I. Joe action figures. I used to like the guy who was dressed all in white. The snow sniper guy, I used to like that guy. Let's talk about one more thing and I'll get done with our Sunday study group. I have a lot more, but the video's getting long. I know you guys are probably bored. Let's talk a little bit about trauma. We harbor trauma physically in our muscles. It's such a fascinating topic to me. We have trauma in our brain as a memory, as unprocessed emotion. But it's also stored physically as negative energy in your muscles. You often will see people with bad posture. I have a stray cat that goes through my yard every single day. He just cruises through. I call him Freddy. He hisses at me when I go and try to pet him. But he'll let me pet him after he hisses at me. He has to go through a process of hissing at me. But let's get back to yoga, because that's what I want to talk about is yoga. Yoga seems kind of like a fruit ball kind of thing. Yoga, like you get in some sort of sweatpants and go and do these stretches. It feels like it's some kind of sissy shit. It's really not. Yoga is thousands and thousands of years old. You go to China and Japan and places where Buddhism is big, you'll see whole parks full of hundreds of people all doing it at once. And there's a reason for yoga. And what I found valuable with it, particularly since I've had PTSD, is that it helped release, through the stretching exercises, it helped release stored up trauma, stored up negativity, let's call it, that was being harbored in my muscles. It helps me with my posture, but it also helped me with my mind. I noticed this when I would be done with the yoga class. I would walk out of the yoga class angry. That's one of my big issues, is anger issues. I walked out of every single yoga class furious. I went and talked to the yoga instructor about it and told her I'm going to quit the class. Something's happening with me psychologically, and every time I leave the class, I'm triggered as fuck. I am ready for war. I walk out of here furious. That cat's sitting right at the back door. The yoga instructor told me, look, you have to stay with this. You have to stay with it. This is working for you. This is the whole point of it. Please don't quit. And I didn't. And I went for months with every class leaving angry, and finally it started to dissipate. That anger started to leave, and I noticed, just kind of as a byproduct, that some of my anger in general started to leave. Check out yoga. Have a good Sunday, guys.